We are now recording, and our objective today is Ms. Osborne is here with us. Of course, you know her as our school librarian, and she is going to help us learn to navigate the UT database, especially to find a book source for your research persuasive argument. Okay, and of course, you'll need this free annotated bibliography as well. So she's going to show us just kind of the power of the UT database and also let us know of some other resources that are available in this very strange, bizarre time that we are in right now. So with that said, now I'll see if I can make you the host, and hopefully it won't stop recording. Yes, I want to make Ashley Osborne the host. Okay.
Okay, so
before we get started, I'm going to be over here manning the chat box. So while she's going, if y'all have questions, you can drop the questions in there, or you can obviously unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, so we're kind of tag teaming it here. She's been so gracious to help us out.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you because I know it's supposed to be like an early release day, and so I appreciate all y'all being here, even though you're supposed to be like relaxing, even though that's all you've done for forever.
Until this week, yeah. What's funny, okay. we got the message yesterday. It's early release. I'm like, but I have this at 2:30. And they're like, but it's early release. I was like, but I have this at 2:30. So, like I said, y'all are my priority.
Sorry, okay. I went backwards. Okay, can y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on two parts of the library, and if you want to, you can follow along with me, or you can just pay attention, and then Miss Gatlin is going to post this later. So you don't have to follow along with me. But if you do want to follow along with me, you can go to the UT Library website and make sure you're signed in.
And there's also a link in Canvas, a link to the library in Canvas.
So I'll give y'all a few more seconds to get there if you are going to follow along. You don't have to.
And again, I'm going to post this video, and then I'll also post this Google slideshow in Google Classroom once we get done, just to clarify.
Okay, I'm going to keep on going. So once you get to the main page, you should see kind of the image that's on your top right of this slide. This first part, we're going to focus on finding eBooks, and then the second part, we'll be looking at the research guides. So for finding eBooks, you're going to want to go ahead and click on where it says Books and Media, and that should take you to a new website, and from there, you're going to click on Advanced Search. It's to the right of the search button, and it looks similar to what's on the bottom part of this slide.
Excuse me.
So once you get there, this should pull up. You're going to want to make sure that Library Catalog is selected. And then something that's super important is separate your search terms into those two boxes. The more specific you can be, the more refined and narrowed down your results are, and they aren't like as crazy. I know your book has to be within the last 10 years, so you can input those dates. An important thing to point out, though, is every time you conduct a new search, it resets your date back to the 1600s. So every time you do a new search, please make sure you change those dates back to the time frame that you need. Otherwise, it's going to pull some really old stuff for you that won't be relevant for your research. Once you're done and you're ready to click search, go ahead and click search, and then you'll have to scroll down to see all your results. I remember Monday I worked on this and I kept hitting search and I was like, nothing is pulling up. And it was all down. So once you scroll down, this is what I was talking about with being specific about your search terms. So Miss Gatlin and Miss Lewis went to a training in February, and they did a little exercise. And so Miss Lewis found that when she typed in Asian American, she got 18,000 results. So that's a lot of information to sort through. So as soon as she separated into Asian Americans and race, it bumped down to 4,800 results. So that's already like a big amount of stuff that was wiped out that wasn't relevant to what she wanted. And so she saw that she could, if she typed in substance abuse along with Asian Americans and race, it would narrow down even more. And then she got it as specific as Asian Americans, race, substance abuse in teenagers, and got one result that had all of those terms in it. So the more you separate your key terms, the more you can refine your search, and your results will become more specific to what you need.
And this is also a really good way if you're still not completely sure, like you're still kind of trying to clarify your claim. It's possible that once you start looking through through these different hits, that something will pop up that kind of strikes your attention. Because we didn't go in looking for this particular topic, but we found some things that kind of interested us and we went down those paths, and this is what we found.
So just the more specific you can be, I think the easier time you'll have sorting through your search results. So you should see this picture on the left-hand side of your screen once you have hit search. You're going to want to make sure that you click on available online. Once you click on that, all of your results will be only things that are available online, and that's what you need. You don't need physical copies of books right now because that's not going to help you at this moment, especially from UT. So this is going to make sure that you're going to be able to see only eBooks. So that top picture, I did like a general search for just gender and race. And so I was like, oh, this book looks interesting. You're going to want to click on available online, and that will be there after you click on online only from that previous slide. For this book, a new pop-up came up, and the view online part was towards the bottom of the page. You're going to want to click on the link. So the link will be different for each ebook, but there will be a link there. You'll click on it, and it'll take you to this page. So you have two options here for this particular book. You can download the entire book as a PDF, or if you kind of scroll down, you can see that you can look at just the individual chapters. So say you just need one chapter from the book. Like if I just wanted to download Urban Spaces and Bodies, I could download just that chapter as a PDF. So it's kind of up to you and what your research needs. I will say, depending on the book, they're not all housed in the same database within UT. So the way that it downloads, or the way that that download page looks, may be different from what's on this slideshow. There should be a button though to either download the entire book, specific chapters, or both for all the ebooks. It just may look a tad different from the example I put on here. So hopefully that doesn't throw you off, but you should be fine. It'll all be there. This page has, if you click, I don't know if you can click here now, but if you can, it takes you to,
Yeah, not while it's sharing, they can't.
okay, I opened it for us.
Yeah.
It takes you to a spreadsheet that has some titles that both Miss Lewis and Miss Gatlin told me about from prior years of doing this research paper. So they might be helpful. I went ahead and put the Amazon link. Depending on the book, I checked, I did this on Monday, so depending on the book, most of them would have, if I would have ordered on Monday, would have gotten here either yesterday or today. So it kind of just depends, but double check that if you're going to order the actual book. But they also have like the ebook version through Kindle or an audiobook version. And I think audiobook stuff is all free right now. You may have to enter in a credit card number and then cancel it within 30 days or 60 days. But it should all be free if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
The Richardson Public Library, if you're a card holder, is open for curbside pickup. So you would need to check it out or request it online, put it on hold, they'll check it out to you, and then they contact you via email or phone and let you know that it's ready. You go to the library, you call them, and they bring it out to you. You don't go inside the library. but they'll bring it out to you. If you live in the city of Dallas, they are not open for curbside pickup. They only have eBooks. So I marked which one on the sheet they have if you're interested in that particular book. You don't have to use these resources. We just wanted to give you some more resources to help you with this, because I know the book part is a little stressful right now, which is why we're doing it after early release time. But
Well, we already had it planned.
I believe in y'all. So if
Yeah.
if you live in the city of Dallas and you do not have a library card, you can either call that number or email that email address Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and they'll get you a card. Remember, you can only do online resources with Dallas Public Libraries. If you live in the city of Richardson and you do not have a card, I am waiting from the lady at the library to get back with us about how to get a card, but you can. So as soon as I get that, I'll put that into this slideshow. But they are doing curbside pickup from 10 to 5. And then Half Price Books, the location in Richardson that's off 75 and Beltline, they're also doing curbside pickup. So I put the phone number there. If you find a book, call them and see if they have it, and they will get it ready for you and tell you all the details about how to come and get it when it's ready. So thankfully we still have those resources. Okay, this second part is where we're going to take a look at the research guides. And this is, it may not help all of you, but it may help some of you. So if you go back to the homepage of the library, earlier we clicked on books and media, but now we're going to take a look at the research guides. So that's right below books and media. You're going to want to click on by type, and then you'll select subject guide. So that's going to pull up, I believe it's like a list of 150 subject guides. So from there, depending on what you're researching on, you can find one that is similar, find one that relates, and click on it. So the one that I chose just to use for this slide was, I believe it was towards the top, it was like African and African American Studies. So this is what that particular research guide looks like. Each guide is going to look a little different. They're not all going to be the same. It kind of just depends on what kind of resources are available for that particular topic. But the majority of them will have databases that are specific to that topic that would be helpful to use, bibliographies, internet resources, statistical information. Some of them have more, some of them have less. It kind of just depends on the topic. I've also been told that Ask a Librarian feature doesn't work for y'all. I'm not 100% sure, but you could try it, but it may not work. But if you get stuck, I mean, you can always ask Ms. Gatlin for help, or free feel to email me too if you run into any problems or just need some help. Because this is a little confusing, I get that, but I believe in all of y'all, so.
Yeah.
That's all I have. Do y'all have any questions for me right now that I could help you answer? Or do you want to kind of play around with that on your own and see what you can find?
Are y'all overwhelmed? Y'all are all just kind of like,
I get it. I throw a lot of information at you at once. So I know we did this with Miss Lewis's classes yesterday, and they all kind of just said, no, we want to look at it by ourselves, and then we'll reach out if we have any questions. So,
which is
totally
fine.
Get it if y'all want to do that, because it is a lot.
Yeah. It's not like we're, running out the door to go somewhere. Okay. So are y'all good? Y'all just look so chill. So Elizabeth, you were saying that you were having some trouble finding a source. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Maybe Ms. Osborne has some tips on how to.
I don't really know a lot. Well, I do know a lot about my research topic is transgendered bathroom rights.
Okay.
Okay.
But after a discussion with Ms. Gatlin through Google Classroom, it kind of brought to my attention that it really isn't a topic that's being discussed right now, which I just sent a message and I said that I kind of disagree because I
Okay.
have seen it brought up in presidential debates, but it also
Okay.
has like I kind of in the fence of switching my topic, even though I kind of don't want to because I have to have like an annotated allied today, so I kind of in the fence right now.
You know, and let me just say this: if you're like trying to force a claim, force a topic, force a source just so you can get something turned in, don't worry about that. Okay. Yeah, I just don't want you guys waiting until Easter weekend to do like the whole thing. So I'm just gonna, you know, if you don't get it turned in until tomorrow, that's okay. I know you're gonna get it done. Okay, so don't try to force, don't try to force, you know what I mean?
I would say take a look at the resources that we looked at today. See if there's anything. Keep doing a little bit of digging. You might find some stuff that helps you and makes you want to either keep this topic or maybe just keep the same topic, but maybe it goes down a little different a bit of a rabbit hole, but it's still kind of the main topic still. So just dig around a little bit more with what we found today and see if there is a ton of stuff out there, because there might be, and then you can kind of go from there.
Yeah. And again, it's true. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the presidential debates because I find them painful. But if it is something that's being discussed, maybe there's like, is there a new twist on it? Because, this is an issue that came up several years ago that we saw quite a bit, and it's kind of calmed down. So is there a different twist on it? And I know you mentioned that you were starting with the source that you used in your rhetorical analysis essay. And so
yeah, that was kind of recent. It was in between the 2-year mark.
yeah, so I would say go back and look at the things that she's saying in that video, and like, are there some specific points that she hits on that might actually end up taking you down a research path?
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Are y'all doing okay? Jessica, you doing okay with your topic, with your research?
Yes, I was gonna ask exactly how many books we need for our research.
How many what's you need?
Books.
Just
Like
the one book, just one nonfiction book. That's been published within the last 10 years.
Okay, and then our resources, it has to be 5 years, or can it also be 10?
The editorials will be the last 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, there's 3 editorials, 2 that support your claim, 1 that goes, well, I hate to say goes against it, but 1 that supports something else. And then we need the book, and then we don't have to do the peer-reviewed journal article anymore. They dropped that one. And so then that final source is your contextualizing source. And this is something that gives it that historical foundation. And that would be something that when we get to that one, those of us who have had more life experiences, who are older, might be able to provide you with, it's like, hey, try this book, or hey, this document or this legal case or whatever, something like that, that would provide that historical foundation.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And Ashley, how are you doing? Solace?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you overwhelmed?
No.
She's like, no, not at all. Yes.
Like all the things.
All the things. Seriously, like this is the time to tell me if you're overwhelmed or if you're just like, I want to crawl in a hole. I'm gonna stop recording.
I feel like I can